Recording. There we go. All right. Well, let's kick it off here. Again, as we were just chatting, thanks everyone for your time. Number one, I realize and always want to acknowledge how busy everybody is, being pulled in a million different directions. And the fact is, you could be doing 1,000 different things right now with your time. And, however, you chose to be here. So I don't take that lightly. I don't take that for granted. And I'm going to make sure the pressure's on me to make sure I deliver something of value today that's applicable, it's crunchy, and it lands with you. So if I've done my part, that'll be the win of the day right there. Now, that said, I was chatting with a couple of you here prior to this. I'm sure we have all different experience types, production levels, and so on and so forth, which is great. So I want to first ask you, if somebody wants to unmute, you can also put it in the chat. Part of what I'm going to be sharing today, it's under the title of the 13 steps to building a scalable business. So my question for you, so we kind of create a base foundation here, what does scalable mean? This isn't like a trip you up question, but when I say that word scalable, what comes to mind? You can unmute, you can put it in the chat, whatever you want to do. Because if it's to build a scalable business, that word should stick out to you, I would think. Anybody want to take a stab at it? Scalable. What does scalable mean? When a company scales, we're not talking about fish. All right, nobody's going to play ball. That's fine. I believe scalability means things like, hey, the business can grow with or without me. The business can grow and I don't have to be a slave to it, working 24/7, 365 around the clock. To me, scalable insinuates I have systems. To me, scalable insinuates I have a vision, a compelling vision of the future. Scalable to me means I take other people with me along this journey because nobody succeeds alone, and I can create a path of opportunity for others and end up leveraging or delegating certain things to other people. Does all of that resonate with you guys? When you think of the word scalable, does that start checking some boxes of what that means to you too? Probably so. Yeah. Is anybody here familiar with Robert Kiyosaki? Do you know who that is when I say that name? Krista or Christy rather. Yeah. So Robert Kiyosaki, he's an amazing author and does all sorts of things, but he's the author, for example, of the book Rich Dad Poor Dad. Maybe you're familiar with that book. He also has one, Cash Flow Quadrant, and somewhere in all of his teachings, Robert Kiyosaki came up with an acronym, kind of a quadrant of ESBI. The E stands for employee. A lot of us come from having been an employee. We have an employee mindset. And then one day we have this entrepreneurial seizure and we're like, hey, I'm going to go into business for myself. I'm going to go get my real estate license. Yeah, which is awesome. So you just went from the E to the S, ESBI. The S represents self-employed. So I went from having a job to now I own a job. I own a bunch of jobs because if you're not the janitor, if you don't have a janitor, you are one. If you don't have an admin, you are one. If you don't have a marketing coordinator, you are one. You catch my drift? A lot of people confuse the fact when they're an entrepreneur and self-employed, like a real estate agent, that they're a business owner. And Robert Kiyosaki would say, not yet. Yes, you're in business for yourself. You get to decide when you want to wake up in the morning, but the reality is you own a job. Then you hop over to the B, which stands for business owner. A business owner doesn't own a job anymore, they own systems. That's the difference. And that's where I want to take us today. When we talk about the 13 steps to building a scalable business, is taking most of you who are stuck in that S category, the self-employed category, and getting you over to the B, which is now a full functioning business owner. And those are two very different things. And just to round it out, in case you're curious, the I represents investor, where now my money is working for me. Okay. So that's where I'm coming from today. Now I'm already 7 minutes in. There's no humanly possible way I'm going to get through all 13 steps today. Now, the good news is if you're affiliated with Rock House, you have access to everything I'm going to share with you today and the full-blown course and workbook and everything. So today I'm going to squeeze in 5, maybe 6 of the 13 if I can get to them. And as I said, if you're with Rock House, you can get the rest if you'd like on your own. If you're not with Rock House, hey, all the more reason to book a time with Tim or Rick or any one of the great agents there and say, hey, tell me more. Let me get the goods, right? So, all right, everybody ready? Ready to rock and roll? By the way, this is not infomercial, but just in case this is our first time hanging out, my name is Jake. You can read there in my name. Founder, CEO of the Locker Room Real Estate Coaching and Training Company, where we specialize in working with fine folks such as Rick and Tim at Rock House and the leadership of organizations on all things growth, retention, productivity, and profitability, and then of course provide training and resources and video modules and whatnot to the agents that are a part of those brokerages. So that's a little bit about us. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to share screen. Give me 1 second, and I'll get this in present mode. So what you're going to see on your screen is the workbook. All right, I don't have a fancy slide deck. We don't need a fancy slide deck, but just in case, can everybody see and give me a thumbs up, somebody that you can see my screen? Yes, okay, great. So at a glance, here are the 13 steps. As a reminder, there's just no humanly possible way with the time that we have today that we're going to get through all 13. Okay. I have selected numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we're going to talk more in depth about researching your opportunity, creating your value proposition, defining your mission, that should be values and beliefs, creating what we call your consumption model. And then I'm going to bump down to number 8, which is building your opportunity map. And then I will finish, if we have time, on number 12, which is marketing. So I'm going to present what I can today, but just know there's a lot more to this. Important point. This is not theory. This is not hypothetical guesswork. I don't mean to brag when I say it, but this is the literal steps in order, can't skip around, in a chronological order for a very specific reason, that I took and had later documented circa 10, 11 years ago to creating the locker room. And we were able to scale and create $1 million business in less than 2 years by following this yellow brick road. Okay. So this is not BS. This is not what I think. And since then, more important than my own story, I have helped countless agents and brokerages, teams deploy this same method and achieve some pretty big, cool results as well. So if you need convincing, there you go. Don't just take my word for it. All right. Shut up, Jake. Let's roll. How do I... Oh, there we go. Oof, it was delayed.
Does your arm hurt? Does your arm hurt?
Why is my arm hurt?
Is your arm hurt?
Why? Because I'm
Because
busy
you just
patting myself on the back? I see what you're... I know what you're doing there. Hey, I don't know these fine folks, man. I got to build a little credibility at least. All right. So number 1 is researching your opportunity. And by the way, all of you will have this workbook sent to you and this recording sent to you, but take notes if you need to in the meantime. So hang on, somebody needs to be let in. Good Lord. So when I talk about researching your opportunity, let me start on the flip side. Think about your own experience. And I'm not judging. I did it too, but I later learned what not to do. A lot of us are so excited. We get our real estate license. We think that if we just make a post on Facebook here and there, that everybody and their brother and mother are going to come rushing to us and say, pretty please with sugar on top, list my home. Or I need your help buying a home. Anybody ever experienced that? It's like on high and then vroom, honeymoon phase is over. A week, 2 weeks in is like, oh crap, this is a little bit harder than I thought it was. And generally, a lot of agents, which is a contributing factor, in my opinion, to why 87% of agents fail in this business is because we're just slinging spaghetti against the wall, hoping something eventually sticks. And never, very few, in fact, slow down on the front end to speed up on the back end. Does that make sense to you? We got to pull the arrow back first and then let it go and accelerate forward with speed. That is this right here. Do not tune me out. Do not think I'm some crazy dude from Wisconsin just blowing smoke. If you're willing to do this step that we're going to talk about first, you are already separating yourself from probably 90+% of the agents out there who never do this. So where am I going with this? I'm not suggesting that you can't serve people in all walks of life, neighborhoods. Of course you can. That's not the point. What I am suggesting, however, is you've got to find your position within the marketplace. Is it crowded? Yes. Is it noisy? Oh, yeah. So I can either just enter the real estate world with my license in hand saying, hey, I'm here, hear me roar, and you quickly get drowned out, or we can do this instead. And you're going to find your niche, if you will, your positioning power. Now, this is inspired from a book. I'm a book junkie, The Blue Ocean Strategy. I would, if you take nothing else away from today, here's a read for you. Blue Ocean Strategy, which essentially means I'm going to not compete in the bloody shark infested waters like everybody else. There's 1.4 million agents. Do you really want to think about competing with all of them? Because what happens is we generally try to outcompete each other. I got to outdo the Joneses, okay, kind of mentality. Instead, when we're just in this bloodbath competing over the same thing, or at least that's what our mindset is, dude, look up. Over here in that direction is this big, beautiful blue ocean. That while everybody's too busy competing and fighting and telling who's better than and worse than the next, you're like, man, y'all can be in the red shark infested bloody waters over there, but I'm going to go over here in this tropical paradise, otherwise known as the blue ocean of opportunity. That's the basis of the book. Be different. I don't know what success means to you, and I don't have it all figured out myself. But one thing I've learned, and I do believe to my core, is that one of the quickest paths to success is observing what the masses are doing and going the opposite direction. Don't operate with a herd-like mentality. If you're into marketing, there's a marketing book called The Purple Cow. Because when's the last time you've seen a purple cow? Exactly. Stands out from the crowd. Okay. So I digress, but to build context around research your opportunity, I just need to make that point because this is where I've given you some questions for consideration that you can ask and research. Figure out where is that blue ocean that while everybody else is infighting, is so obvious over here that nobody's paying attention to this. Is it a neighborhood, a city, a subdivision for you? What's the migration patterns coming in or out of New Jersey, Pennsylvania, wherever you reside? What's that new employee? Is there a data center or something like that coming into town that you just heard the humble beginnings? You can get in front of these things before anybody else. Where is the opportunity that nobody else is looking at? And yet it's so obvious if we just wake up and stop trying to outcompete each other. That's this. Here's some great questions. I'm not going to read every one because you guys can have this, but some of my favorites are what aspects of client service, the way you serve clients, buyers and sellers, should be raised above what the industry has come to accept? When's the last time you've ever questioned why do I do open houses on weekends? Like who says? Where's the rule book that says open houses have to be on Saturdays or Sundays? I know logically you're thinking, well, I've got to be available when everybody else is off work. Okay, that logic works. But what if you dare to be different? What if you challenged the status quo and said, you know what? I'm going to do Wednesdays because a lot of people in our area maybe go to church from 6 to 7 o'clock on a Wednesday night. So I'm going to hold my open house from 7 to 8:30. I'm making this up, of course, but you see, like, it's just different and different is good. What about a new value curve? How do you go about servicing, marketing yourself, your clients in such a way that nobody's even thought of before? You just get to create something entirely new, something refreshing that nobody's even thought to do or dared to do yet. And what about on the other side? What factors have agents are they competing with? You just step out, look at lab coat agents or any group or in your own neck of the woods, and you just look back and you're like, that is so stupid. Who cares? Why are we fighting over this? Why are you trying to prove how smart you are? Because no, like it's so stupid that you can actually eliminate or ignore altogether. When you start to ask yourself these questions and really research, research can look like AI, Google, research can look like focus groups where you ask questions to a group of people that you bring together. Research can look like polls and surveys that maybe you put on Instagram or Facebook. This is all market research to figure out what are the patterns, what are the opportunities, what is nobody really capitalizing on that I can. Is this making sense so far? One of my absolute favorite questions are these bottom two. What are, this takes time, you got to really observe. What are the current industry assumptions that you are operating within that needs to be questioned or challenged? I gave you one earlier. Open houses, for example, right? But what else can you think of that's like, hang on, why do we do it this way? Could there be a better way? Right? And maybe that comes at first with some skepticism, some hate from your fellow agents because it's like, oh, how could you do it that way? That's not how we do things. Well, who gets to say? You run your business the way you want to, I'll run it the way I want to. How about that? And of course, that last one, where are you? Oh man, this is such a good question. Where are you currently imitating instead of innovating simply because you're scared or you're so concerned about staying competitive? Again, dare to be different. So these are just a few questions that start get you thinking. I'm just trying to lead you to doing some version of your own research to identify things that are there, they exist, but right now nobody else sees because they're not willing to put in the work and the time to do this. Page 2 has a few more questions here for you. Excuse me. Going more down the path of kind of like that ideal client. Okay. Is your ideal client that you can build something around? You hear hometown heroes, for example. That's a great one. Or you specialize in working with military, doctors, teachers, people in healthcare, right? And you just have a hometown heroes little marketing something, something, something that attracts that ideal audience to you simply because you just enjoy working with them. You don't need to over explain yourself. What do you specialize in? What is that demographic that nobody else is singling out saying, hey, you, I'm talking to you. If that's you, I'm your agent. If it was me with my background and all of you have your own unique backgrounds, well, hello, the locker room. If I started selling homes again, I'm a sports dude. One of my niches, blue ocean opportunities, would be to go after anybody who played collegiate or professional sports. And I could create a whole sports division that I'm known for as a niche that not too many people are probably specializing in. Make sense? All of you have this. If you just put the time, energy, and thought, research into identifying how can you stand out? What is your area of specialty that you want to be known for that nobody else is even really paying attention to? Okay. So are we doing all right so far? I've got to move on. This is just one. I mean, again, if you want more, A, get with Rick, get with Tim. B, in Rockhouse, if you're with Rockhouse, you have access to the recording, the workbook, all of this, which is far more in depth. So you can go back and revisit. But are there any questions, comments about this step first? Essentially what we're going for here. Okay. Assuming now, and by the way, this step, there is no time frame, but I would say if you feel like you're done with this in a day, I would push back hard on that. This is a research project, okay? It takes time. I don't know how much. I don't want to tell you how much. Is it 2 weeks, Jake? Is it a month? How long should I be spending on this? I can't answer that for you. But you'll know when you found that blue ocean opportunity. You'll know when you've exhausted enough of your efforts to come to a conclusion that now you can act on. But if you said, Jake, I'm done, I filled out the questions, what's next? And you did that in an hour or a day, I'd say you probably didn't go deep enough. Make sense? Okay. Okay. Let's ride. Number two. Rick, were you going to chime in? Please, and by the way, anytime,
Yeah, I
please
was
do.
real quick. And as you're talking about the research there, the one course that I've been taking for like 6 weeks now, it's a lot of research and it
Yep.
dives into who you really are too. So that's
Yeah.
I'm a 52-year-old man, but it really brought me back to what my core was too, even though,
Yeah.
I've been
Yeah.
in the business since '04. It's like it brings you right back to the beginning, so to speak. So it's really
It
good.
sure does. And by the way, research can be fun. I'm half kidding when I say this, but if you guys are following or seeing what Tim and Rick are putting out there, like first of all, I guarantee you they researched Wildwood, seeing a new expansion opportunity in a different market. And part of that research they're doing videos on right now. You might laugh, but they're around doing cheesesteak reviews. You guys seen this, right? I mean, come on. There's worse ways to do research. Okay. But I'm kidding, but not kidding. It's fun, but what they're researching and therefore turning into marketing and attraction are things spotlighting the local area, the lifestyle of the area that people actually care about. Not everybody cares about a 3-bed, 2-bath home, but everybody's got an opinion on who's got the best cheesesteak. So, I mean, come on, a little bit of research can be fun too. All right. You can eat your way through it. All right. Anywho, so imagine now you've pulled the arrow back. We're still pulling it back, but imagine now you've done all this research. You're starting to see pockets and gaps of opportunities that nobody else is seeing. Okay. Imagine you're there. Now, on top of that, I'm going to layer in and start to get a little bit more clear of what my unique value proposition is and who it's tailored for, aka my ideal client avatar. Yes? So let's start with you. A lot of people try to create a solution and then go find a problem. Okay? That's bass backwards. So here, I want you to ask, put your humility and humble pie aside. If I asked you, and I want you all doing this work, by the way, if I asked you, what are you insanely, unbelievably good at? What is it? Especially as it
Being
pertains
hands
to being handsome, blonde hair, blue eyes. I mean, come on. I can't compete with that. I just wear hats. But no, really, like, what are you unbelievable at? All of you are really good and talented and passionate about something or some things. If you can't get out of your own way, what do your friends, your family compliment you? Oh, you make that look so easy. What are your friends often coming to you asking for advice about? Those are little hints that say they see you or value you in this way because you're really good, you're knowledgeable, you're passionate, something. Okay. I want all of you to spend time in that and give yourself credit. Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't discredit it. What are you freaking awesome at? What are you unbelievably, unapologetically passionate about? List, write it down. Boom, 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 boom. And the more I can make it about real estate or business or anything like that, the better. Then here's what you do. Imagine you have 17 things listed. Yep, I'm good at this. I'm amazing at that. Great. Then I want you to draw a line over from each one. It's the bridge. It's the epiphany bridge. And ask yourself, okay, I'm great at this. What problem does that solve for someone else? What is somebody else going through today that the thing I'm passionate and really good at can solve for them? Is that this is really important. So did that land? You guys understand what I'm saying there? List it, bridge. How does that help somebody? Example, you might write down, I've got a teacher's heart. I love to advise, I love to teach. I'm very mechanical. I think I'm really good at charting out steps for people to take something that's big and make it, digestible. So if that's you, if that's something you would write down about yourself, draw the bridge. Well, what problem does that solve and for who? Aha, I've got a trigger point. First time homebuyers. You might be the first time homebuyer specialist and you don't even know it because you don't know how to market it and give yourself the credit. But think about that. Are first time buyers overwhelmed? Yes or yes? Do they have any clue of what to expect or how the process works? No. And so on and so on and so on. So now you can take what you're naturally good at, market it, and leverage that to a demographic of people that you can attract, like buyers in this case, because you're great in that advisory role. You're great at outlining steps of, hey, here's what's going to happen next to take their overwhelm and reduce it. Are you smelling what I'm stepping in? I gotta have fun with you. Come on.
I'm starting to understand what a banana tastes like.
That's it, Rick. That's it, buddy. That's an inside joke. But seriously, are you guys getting this? I just need a nod or a thumbs up. Okay. Now, that is a unique value proposition, underscore unique when you've done all this work and you've connected the dots. Because what I see, and again, we're not here to be like everybody else. We're being different, yes? And why this is scalable and all the things is because agents largely compete. Go back to the research questions. What are most agents competing on? That's kind of like stupid. Commissions. Well, I'll do it for cheaper. I'll do it for less. I'll do it for, here's my 13-step marketing plan. Cool. None of that makes you unique. I'm asking you, what is your unique value proposition? Something that nobody can compete with you on. That lands a whole lot differently. So next time that buyer, first time home buyer asks you, why should I work with you and not this agent? First of all, I'm not going to belittle the other agent. That's not professional. But I will say, well, here's why. I've got a teacher's heart. Here's what that means to you. Here's how that shows up for you. I'm learning based. Here's why that matters. Here's how that shows up when I work with you. And I can just go on down the list because I have, crafted my unique value proposition and tied it to the WIIFM, what's in it for me, radio station. I play translator of how this thing that I'm naturally good at shows up for you, my client, and how it's going to help you win. Is this connecting? This is so important. That's why I keep checking in with you. Like, does this make sense? I just need to know because this is too big of a deal. You don't get these first two right, everything else is just going to be a jumbled up mess. Okay. Then I can scuba dive a little bit deeper once you've done that last exercise and start answering some of these more generic questions about the ideal audience. Who's the ideal client? Okay. What's their personality like? Where do they go hang out? What do they do for work? Um, what kind of goals and dreams does your ideal client have? What are their current pains and challenges that they're facing? So on and so forth. You can go as granular as you want here, but that generally works best after research has been done and you have listed out the things that you're incredible at and drawn the connected dots to how that helps somebody else. Any questions on this? All right, fine. I guess I'm just that good. I'm kidding. Kidding. Okay. Did I say, I know I did, that these are chronological steps? Don't go to number 3 without doing number 2 and number 1 first. Now that we fast forward, you've done number 1, you've done number 2. Now this actually becomes really easy and fun. I think it's just an opinion. You may disagree. A lot of agents don't have this, don't spend enough time on this. And it's your mission, it's your values, and it's your belief systems. I believe that a large percentage of our waking hours as adults is spent working, good, bad, or indifferent. So therefore, I can hate and dread what I do and who I do it with, or I believe business, my business, your business, should be a reflection of who you are. Because when you demonstrate and you operate your business by standards, a mission, a core values and beliefs, it's going to attract more people like that to you. You are not for everybody. Everybody's not meant to work with you. That's okay. If you know who Simon Sinek is, um, something that I read, I think it was in his book Start With Why years ago, set me free. It set me free. I needed to hear it at a certain time of my business. And I'm going to share that quote with you right now. He wrote or said, the purpose in business is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The purpose or the goal in business is to do business with those who believe what you believe or value what you value. Translation, I'm not meant to work with somebody who's going to disrespect my time, who's going to yell at me and try and belittle me and what I do in a very noble, by the way, career. And are there jerks out there like that? Yep. Oh, you're an agent. Oh, you're such a slimy salesperson. You know what, sir or ma'am? Clearly, we're not a fit. Thank you so much. Have a good day. But I can only do that. I can only have that swagger. I can only push my shoulders back if I am really flipping clear about what I stand for, what my business is supposed to represent. And I don't have to be right, don't have to be liked. It's not about that. But by God, my business is going to represent me as a person because at the end of the day, 96% of clients, according to NAR, choose you because of you. 4% actually give a flying rip what company you're associated with. They don't care. You should pick your brokerage for you. But the client picks you. They don't pick your brokerage 96% of the time. So, who are you? What are you about? What do you represent? Mission statement. What's your purpose? Why are you in business? I've got a quick little formula for you here. I do a lot better with fill in the blank. I'm from Wisconsin, okay? I do a lot better with fill in the blank questions. So if you want to write this down, and I've helped a zillion people create their mission statements, it's something like this. My mission is to blank, like literally a blank. And then you write the next words by or through. That's the transition word. By/through blank. Here's one more transition word. So that blank. So let me say it in its entirety. My mission is to blank, by or through blank, so that blank. So let's just quickly. My mission is to, boom, that first blank is the bold declaration. It's the bold promise. It's like, here I come, I'm coming in hot. Hear me roar. By or through is the methodology. It answers the question how you're going to deliver on that bold promise. So that, and that third blank space answers the question, what is the end result? What can I expect to achieve by working with you, aligning with you? What's the ultimate outcome? My mission is to blank. What is it? To be the number one agent in Montgomery County? Cool. By or through blank by being the most customer service focused agent you've ever met in your life. Whatever. So that I create raving fans from every client I work with and lifelong clients that continue to work with me and refer me to all their friends and family. I'm just making that up on the fly, by the way. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, that's a little formula for you. Then you bump down to the values. Ooh, this is tough, okay? For some, man, it's like this thing. I can't apologize for it. It just this is how I'm wired. What do you value? What do you prioritize? What is absolute most important to you? It's a non-negotiable. Honesty. Maybe that's one. integrity. What is that core value? Something that's worked for me when I'm in this zone, and by the way, this changes, it evolves. I just take out a blank sheet of paper. I'm not joking. And I just write. I write down all these little buzzwords or short phrases that come to mind when I ask myself, well, Jake, what do you value? Hmm. And I just write, I just write, I just write. And when I feel exhausted and can write no more, I go back through this list and I circle the top five or six that give me like a visceral reaction. And I'm going to show you mine here in just a second. Because those, they just pop, they jump off the paper. Pay attention to that because that means something deeper than probably some of the other words. And then belief system. What are your core beliefs? These are the guiding principles, the guidelines by which you make decisions. It's how you think, how you go about things. It's very different from a value. So let me show you an example of ours. This is for the locker room. Here's our mission. I won't read it, okay? But here's what I was saying. I did that exercise and I plucked out the words passionate. I value people who are passionate. I value being in business with people who are solution based. I value people that are driven by a purpose. I value collaboration. I value accountability. I value transparent communication. Those are my values. That's it. And then I did it a little step further. You could, you don't have to. And I put in my words what each one meant. Let me explain passionate, right? And then I did the same thing for belief system. Our belief system is we believe in personal growth. We believe in alignment. We believe in who you're in business with matters. We believe in being learning based. We believe in failing forward. We believe in operating out of abundance. You get it. So check this out. They didn't, but I was prepared if they did. Imagine me meeting with Tim and Rick for the first time. And let's say they're interviewing other coaching companies. Well, we got this Jake Dixon dude with the locker room. We're going to talk to Tom Ferry. We're going to talk to Brian Buffini. We're going to talk to Club Wealth. We're going to talk to whoever. There's no shortage of options out there. Okay. Just like there's no shortage of agents that your clients could work with. And now they come to me and say the inevitable, well, why should I work with you? What makes you different from any other agent? Or in this case, different from any other coach? You know what I don't have to do? I don't have to get in an argument. I don't feel like I have to defend myself. I don't have to say why Tom Ferry isn't great and I'm better than him. No, 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 no. What I do, and this is real, what I do, say, so glad you asked. And I slip this little sheet of paper in front of them or I pull it up on a screen like I have showing you right now. I said, this is why. Because if you want somebody that believes in personal growth and failing forward, or if you value what I value, which is being passionate, being driven by a purpose, blah, 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 then hire me. I am the coach for you. If we're not aligned on these things, that's okay. I'm not the coach for you. It's kind of just this almost like a takeaway close, nonchalant, like, hey, if you like it, cool. If not, that's okay too. I'm telling you, this has won me more business than it's lost me because who else can produce this? When you go on that listing appointment and they ask you a similar question, and out of your listing packet, you can show them this, your own version of a document like this, doesn't that land differently? Wouldn't you think? Say, hey, if this sounds like somebody you want to represent your best interests for the largest investment of your life, then hire me. But if it doesn't align, I take no offense to that. I've got some other great agents at Rock House that I can happily introduce you to and maybe refer you to. Hello? That's a little different pep in your step. Wouldn't you agree? That's different. Nobody's talking this way. Nobody has something like this. And I've got to believe if you did, compared to the other two agents that I'm interviewing, and basically y'all are more or less equal, I'm going with you. I like this. Maybe I'm the minority, maybe I'm the majority. I don't know. But I know one thing, it's not going to hurt you. It's only going to help you. Last point on this. When it, or if you guys do ever like grow a team, if you hire an admin or buyer's agents and so on and so forth, if you ever desire to build a real estate team, I cannot tell you how many times this has kept me in alignment. Because when I created this, I wasn't influenced by money, prestige. I created this in my most vulnerable time. It was just genuine Jake. And so when I make hiring or firing decisions, I bring this back out. Are we aligned? Do we value and believe the same things? Are we on the same mission? And I have leveraged this for hiring and more often firing of people because something happened where we're no longer aligned. This is my compass. So I don't get blindsided by greed or other outside distractions. When I created this, it was the most genuine, purest form of self I was in. Everybody good on that? I'm going to keep moving. Okay. I promised you 1 through 4. This one is the banana, Rick. So I'm going to give them the quick little build up like I gave you, and you're like, what did you just say? So everybody's going to be let in on the banana joke. Okay, I'm just going to lead with it. It's too fun. Somebody be the first. Be the first. Explain to me. Can you please explain to me what a banana tastes like? If I've never had one. That's a lie, but let's pretend I've never had a banana, never tasted one in my life. Could you explain to me what a banana tastes like? That's a weird question. The answer, I can tell everybody's looking up and yeah, no, I guess I really can't. There's no other taste like it. It's a banana, for God's sakes. The only way you can appreciate or even understand what a banana tastes like is to consume it for yourself. Agreed? There's just no possible way to explain it. Interesting. I liken that to you when you're trying to explain to a buyer or a seller or your social media page how incredible you are to work with. They can never understand. It's something that they must experience for themselves, right? I don't know. I'm not a Knicks fan, but if you watched the game last night, I could be chilling on the couch eating Cheetos, watching the Knicks. Same game. Or I could be sitting with all the celebs at half court in the front row. Same game, but what changed? Proximity. Proximity. There's a premium to proximity. Okay. And I have to consume things to get closer and closer proximity to you. And it's all experiential. So, where I'm going with this, and Rick knows this little backstory, a few years ago, I had my appendix taken out. If you've ever had appendicitis, oh Lord Jesus, that hurts. I have a pretty high pain tolerance, but dude, that was no joke. Whew. So, anywho, after I went through that surgery, I'm laid up in the hospital, and maybe it was the medication they had me on or something that made me a little cuckoo. But how my brain typically works is as I'm scrolling on my news feed, I see the old food pyramid. Y'all remember the old food pyramid? Now they've made the new one, and it's an inverted triangle. But whatever I was doing, I was looking up health or something because I was like, man, I got to take better care of my body. I stumble upon the food pyramid, and I'm like, ooh, that's a model. I'm a sucker for a good model. And so I start to draw this correlation between it's one thing for me to know and acknowledge what I'm supposed to eat, aka consume, to live a happy, healthy, long life. It's not enough to know. I have to consume. Same thing. I don't think it's enough for you to tell your audience, your clients, what they need to know. They've got to consume things of yours. They have to experience you for themselves, as I've already said. So, what this consumption model is, it's a fancy way of saying it's your lead generation plan to an extent, but it's a little different and deeper than that. There is a method to the madness. So, if I go to the next, here's an example of this. The bottom, when you go to build your own, the bottom represents the most easily to consume, the most frequently available. So I went with social media. Okay. And then the higher up I go in this pyramid, there's a switch cost that happens. So at the bottom, when it's the most easy and frequent to consume, the trade-off is it's the least effective. Meaning, like, I'm not going to convert somebody just because I made a Facebook post. However, the higher up I go, the frequency or availability reduces, but the trade-off there is the effectiveness raises. So let's look at the extremes. Social media. Over here on the right, there's a few examples of what you can do. Hey, I'm going to start a community group. Um, People who love gardening in West Chester County. I'm butchering. No, Bucks County. Bucks County is the one. Yes. See, I'm doing good. And you know what? It's a free group, and all the people who love gardening and tips and tricks about gardening can join your community. They get to know you, though, the admin of the group, the leader of the group, who just happens to sell real estate. Posts, comments, friend requests, social media ads, there's all different things. On the right side from social media, this is where theoretically you would put in your strategies, what you would do. All the way up to the top, videos, published content, events, one-on-one. Least available because time is a restriction. You only have so much capacity, but higher conversion, higher effectiveness. That's the switch cost. So videos, you could have a whole YouTube channel of new construction tips like my friend Josh. He only does $2 million a year of GCI. He only has 65% of his business come from his YouTube videos. That's all. No big deal. And all he does is focus on content for new construction. It's insane. He's a literal millionaire real estate agent. You could do market update videos. You could do buyer seller tip videos. Then I go up to publish content. You could create a relocation guide in 2.0 seconds with Claude or ChatGPT. You could have a first time home buyer blog. You could do an investor podcast. All of these are just different ideas, different forms of what I would classify as published content. Consumption, consumption, consumption. Every time somebody consumes something of mine, now they experience me and it pulls them closer and closer and closer into my ecosystem. Events, first-time homebuyer seminars, seller seminars, client appreciation events, one-on-one, the ultimate, buyer consultations, listing presentations, discovery calls. This is an example of a built-out, what you might call lead generation plan. I call it a consumption model. And it's very strategic from bottom to top, top to bottom. And when layered on top of each other, it creates a big picture of how all things work together. It's not disjointed and fragmented all over the place. This is one of the most crunchy, most transformational things I can talk to you about if you actually go and build yours. I'm not doing it justice because I don't have time today, but sink your teeth into this because this might be the very thing that changes the trajectory of your business once you create it. And most importantly, implement. You got to deploy the strategies. Rick?
Well, 2 months ago I started it, and I can, here to say it works. I went
Yeah.
through each one and saw it this way, a different vision of it all. And if
Yep.
anybody knows me or sees me doing what I'm doing now,
Yep.
this is what I'm doing, and
It's part
it
of it.
works. If you don't like people coming up to you and say to you, "Hey, I see what you're putting out there and the stuff you're doing," then don't do this. But I get approached constantly now, all
Yeah.
the time. So just wanted to point that
Yeah.
out.
It's not a coincidence. Rick had very minimal, if any, video social media game before this. Now he's shooting videos with agent tips. Um, hey, I'm down here at Wildwood at this construction site that flip that we're doing. Hey, we've got this event training coming up. Hey, this cheesesteak is great. That's not a coincidence. It's because Rick built this for himself and now he's executing it. You're seeing it happen in real time. Thank you for that. Okay, next page on this one, just some things to consider. Again, all of you are going to get this. I know I'm zooming through this, but there's that. So now I've got it bumped all the way down to right here. I got two left, and we're going to go quick on this just so I respect everybody's time. Step 8. So I just skipped over several steps. Okay, I just want to make sure I hit on this with y'all today. Building what I would refer to as an opportunity map. I just hate corporate America language, so that's a Jake thing. Okay, otherwise known as an org chart. It's an org chart. I just like to the phrasing of it's an opportunity map because I don't know. I just do. So it's spending time considering what is that vision of the future? What is the compelling, the gripping thing that, especially in the days that suck and it's hard. I don't feel like lead generating. I just had 3 deals explode in my face. Like this right here, the clarity and vision that you have about the 1 year, the 3 year, the 5 years and beyond will reconnect you. Okay. It'll pull you through the stuff. So what does your business, your company look like in a year? Just 12 months from today? What do you want it to look like? What about 3 years from now? Like it's hard for some of us if we don't live in this world all the time to even imagine 3 years. Hell, I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. But I want you to wonder. I want you to dream. I want you to let yourself in your limiting beliefs just go, just for a minute, so you can do this exercise. Nobody's judging. Hell, you're probably not even going to get it right. But at least you spent some time vision casting what it could be, what you're working towards. And then once you've done that, just write it out, draw it out, whatever you need to do. Go back and ask, okay, now who? Who are the who that can help me make this vision of mine happen? Guys, nobody succeeds alone, okay? The who could be Jake. The who could be Rick, Tim. There's a common, the who could be each other for yourselves, right? I've got 5 different buckets. I'm going to say them really quickly that when I know I am operating at my absolute best, I'm my sharpest, and things seem to just hum along, I can audit my relationship buckets. And there's 5 of them. Number one, who is my mentor? Do I have a mentor? That person would be in my who category. And all of these, by the way, serve different purposes. So, mentor. Number 2, who's my coach? Who's coaching me? Very different role than a mentor. Number 3, who's my accountability partner? Who's that? In other words, the person that is going to meet me at the gym at 5 in the morning. That's an accountability partner. Okay. Different from a coach, different from a mentor. Number 4, who's your personal board of directors? What? Yeah, I mean it. Another way of saying that is your inner circle. That when you're just going through some stuff and you need to unload or you need somebody to pick you up and dust you off, this is your top 5, your personal board of directors. If you're getting ready to make a big decision, these are the people you would trust to run it through first. And they're going to shoot you straight. They're not going to tell you what you want to hear. They're going to tell you what you need to hear. And the 5th category, relationship buckets, is your network, your community. And by and large, right now, the brokerage could represent that. Maybe you subscribe to a mastermind community or something like that. Doesn't matter. So those are the 5 areas. And then number 3, this is where I want you to draw stick figures. This is like doodling. I want you to start with a circle, and in that circle is your name, you. Okay, here's me. And then you can draw a stick leg down here saying 1 year from now, I want an admin assistant or a virtual assistant. 3 years from now, I have those and I want a buyer's agent or a showing specialist. Whatever. Just draw out the vision, the org chart, opportunity map of what that looks like in your mind's eye. Now, here's the thing. I got to sneak this in before we run out of time. I am not. In fact, I'm quite opposite, and I make people that I work with defend it really hard with me. I am not here today to promote that everybody should leave here thinking to have a scalable business means they have to have a real estate team. Not even close. Most people shouldn't even have a team. There's nothing wrong with being an individual agent. Maybe you got some leverage here and there of other, like a transaction coordinator or whatever. That's great. It's the highest profitable margin business that there is in real estate. So if you're like, Jake, I'm struggling on this because I don't want to start a team. I don't want that responsibility. Cool. I still want you to do this exercise, but here's how it looks instead. It's you in the circle at the top, and your stick figures, your legs extending off of that, are your strategic vendor partners. Who's my loan officer? Who's my appraiser? Who's my insurance agent? Who's my pest control company? Who's my home warranty rep? You see what I'm doing? You can still build your org chart opportunity map, with vendors where there's a referral reciprocal relationship there, I still consider that your team. Don't you? I would think so. That is a team, just not in the traditional sense that the Millionaire Real Estate Agent book or other things would want you to think of it as. Hope that helps. All right, I've got like two minutes, so let me sneak in the last one. And if you got to go, I completely understand. It's this one. Number 12 of 13. Again, I told you today I'm going to be bouncing around. It's the marketing stuff. Just some really basic, but it's really important that you hear this, that you, like this whole thing, answer these in sequential order. Don't go answering number four and then going back and answering number two. One, two, three, four, five in order. So this is your marketing to get you started on this. First thing I want you to establish is your brand. When people think of you, what do you want them to think of? What do you want to dominate the mind share of? Is it a community? Is it a zip code? Is it what we said earlier, like a demographic, such as first-time home buyers or people with military background, veterans? There's no wrong to this. What is your brand? And in this sense, brand is not color schemes. It's not logos. I'm not talking about that. What do you want to be known for in other people's minds? Then once you establish that, can I answer the question to establish your message? What's your voice? What's the tonality? What's behind the message itself that speaks to your audience? Example, I have a sarcastic humor. That's okay. I'm not for everybody. Everybody doesn't respond well to that. That's okay. Maybe the voice, the hypothetical or literal voice behind your brand is humor. It's very serious. You want to be known as the economic person. It doesn't matter, but I need you to define what is the voice or the tonality behind the message that's going to resonate with your audience. This is kind of a nuanced question. I hope that makes sense to you, though. Then, this is where most people go. They skip one and two. They just go straight to three. Now I get to decide what's my strategy. What are my methods I'm going to use to get in front of that audience? Is it running Facebook ads? Is it doing lives on Instagram? Is it hosting networking events and meetups? It can be a combination of all these things. And by the way, number three speaks to the consumption model. Okay. Number four, once I've established that, now I get into the budget. A budget? Well, yes, you're running a business. You should have a budget for your business. Put the credit card away, lead with revenue, not expenses. So if you don't have the money, don't spend the money. Whew. But yes, assuming that there's some margin there, and PS, a good measure would be 10%. Take 10% of your gross commissions, stuff that away for your marketing and lead generation budget. 10 to 12%. Okay. Because if I do it right and I've established the right mediums, I should be getting a multiple return on that investment. What is your ROI? I was always taught to get a 4-to-1 return. So if I spend $1, I'm not going to justify that dollar by earning $1 back. That's like dumb, break even. If I spend $1, I'm going to hold that accountable to returning me 4. If I spend $1,000 a month on marketing, I should be able to trace $4,000 back. Make sense? 4-to-1 return, guys, because that margin, there's other probable associated expenses that show up, which is why we don't go for a 2-to-1 or a 3-to-1. I need to leave enough room there on a 4-to-1 return to make sure even after any other associated expenses, I'm still in the green.
We're business owners, and I have a retail store also. And my margins on every single product need to be a minimum of 56%, period, the end.
Love it. That's what operating like a CEO business owner sounds like. I didn't know that about you, Rick, by the way. But you're dialed in on the margins, man. Yep.
Tell you all about it later.
Yeah,
Tutus
I'm
and
sure you will.
leotards, baby. Gymnastics, tutus and
Ooh,
leotards. You
seriously?
sell it all.
Wow. Okay. Well, anyways. Um, Number five, the last one, really, really important. Then I'll shut up. KPIs. KPI stands for key performance indicators. I've got my ad spend, I got these things going out, whatever it is. What metrics do I need to track to let me know it's working? If you do ads like on Facebook or something, yeah, it might be impressions, clicks, appointments set, like whatever. If you do email marketing, what's your open rate? 30%? Right? So I need to know the granular data that I'm going to be looking at. So I'm holding my money accountable and tracking the leading indicators that impact the lagging indicator. So many agents spend thousands of dollars a month on online leads, and you're like doing good if you get a 2 to 3% conversion rate. Right? But you got to know what are those metrics that I'm paying attention to let me know if what I'm doing is working or not. And that would be KPIs. And myself, Rick, Tim, we can all help you guys with this. We don't expect you to run off and say, yeah, I got it all figured out. No. But we're just introducing you to these concepts so you're aware. And that's where aligning with Rock House matters, because these guys are business owners. They function like business owners. And anything I've shared today is not a foreign idea to Rick or Tim. Okay. This is what business people do.
Well,
So I know I'm
the
go ahead.
banana and consumption was a little foreign to me, but
Well, you know,
it works.
yeah.
And not for nothing, I use the banana quite a few times to people, and they look at me and then they go, like, we could sign up with you for three months, and it works like a charm. So
Oh, I'm never gonna let that one
nope. Well,
die.
let me ask you this. Let me ask everyone in the room. How do you make an egg?
I don't know.
How do you make a what?
An egg roll?
Oh, an egg roll. I don't know.
Put a bunch of cabbage and weird shit in it and roll it up and fry it, I guess. I don't know.
You push it.
Huh?
Push it.
Shit.
Push it real good.
You
You
push
don't
it.
roll it, you push it.
How do you make an egg roll? You push it.
Oh God, what a stupid joke. I get it now. My God. We're all suckers. I bet Chris got it though. He knew we were you
I
push
actually
it.
had to physically take an egg to one of my son's friends and put it on the table and push it so he understood one time. So
Maybe I'm just hungry, man. I was thinking of like Chinese food here. An egg roll. Oh Lord. All right, guys. Hey, I know I've kept you over. Not for my ego. I don't need it. But did you guys find something of value today? Were you exposed to an idea, a strategy that might help you with your business?
Yeah.
I hope so. I
Yeah,
hope it
great
wasn't a complete.
information. Thanks so much.
All
You're
right.
very welcome. Very welcome.
thanks, Jake. Thank you, everybody. Have a
Bye.
great
Got it,
weekend.
guys.
Go make some money and kick some ass.
Do it. All right, guys.
Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Appreciate you. Bye.